Welcome to the No Budget Indie Filmcast, where we dip into the independent film universe to highlight those little films that you might not have heard about elsewhere. Will you agree with our panel, or will our panel agree with each other? Tune in to find out. I am Milo Dennison, and with me, as always, is Claire Milan
Hello.
and Cathal Feeney.
Hello.
All right, Cathal, what's on the agenda this week?
Well, normally with No Budget, we like to think that we're introducing our audience to something that they may not have been aware of or may not have seen before. Now, in this instance, it might not be the case because this particular film we're going to talk about already has 71 million views on YouTube. And uh, after doing some background research, i.e., I Googled it, I discovered that it has just been commissioned for a program, a series on Channel 4. In fact, it was commissioned earlier and it's now gone to air. And the first episode showed on 30th of September. So this is not a discovery by any manner of means, but it's still a little gem of a film, I think. So it's called, if you don't know, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And it is created by Becky Sloan and Joseph Pelling. And soon after they made their first episode, which is the one we're going to review, they were joined by a guy called Baker Terry. So it was a web series that they created around 2016, and this is the first episode in that web series, which won a grand jury prize in Sundance in 2012. So I don't know why. I think actually this was shown in Sundance, and then the rest of the series was, created afterwards from 2016. So what we have is an animation, a cute little animation. We have, if you can see behind me, two kind of humanoidy figures and a duck, a mallard duck, and they're sitting at a kitchen table when suddenly the notebook starts talking to them. And it starts this cheery little upbeat song about finding the creativity in everyday objects. And, the others join in and they start singing along too. And then halfway through, it takes this kind of a bit of a twist, you're going, what happened there? And then finally, it goes off in a weird kind of direction, which is quite hilarious. So you kind of watch it the first time and you go, what was that? And then you have to watch it again and you go, oh. And so it's a sort of film. It's not, it kind of creeps up on you, it catches you out by surprise because you think you're watching something and then you realize you're actually watching something else. And of those 71 million views, I'd say maybe it's like 7 million people watching it 10 times, because I think I've already watched it about 10 times. Yeah, so it's very funny. And what else would I say? It's kind of subversive in a way.
Yeah, it was mad because when I started watching it, like, what did Carl choose for us?
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't realize the 71 million views. Didn't actually read that part, but it was like I thought it was just a children's thing. I was like, this is so strange. And then I was like, oh my God, there's a bit of a twist to it. And it gets a bit dark. I didn't expect that. And I'm talking by surprise. And this is certainly not a children's film than I thought it was at the start. And then again, I watched it twice. I should have watched it more, but I do want to watch it a few times because there's so much meaning to it. And I think anyone in the creative industry can feel what these people are going to about being creative and the pain of being creative, and the joy of it as well. I think that's what the message is about. But yeah, it's really, really well made, fascinating, quirky, and the fact it's kind of short as well. You can just do it a few times. If it was 10 minutes long, you probably wouldn't play it a few times. Yeah, I think it's fascinating, and I think every time you watch it, you get a different meaning from it. Yeah, I thought it was terrific.
It is really well made. They do a great job of mixing medias. You've got some 2D animation in there. You've got the puppetry. You've got the stop motion animation. You've got the whatever the orange thing is with the guy in the suit. So it is really brilliantly made. However, I do have to dispute using the term film when referring to this. I know you can have a 3-minute film, but it's basically it's kind of just a weird ass music video, which it's a brilliant weird ass music video. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I'm still sticking with it's kind of just a weird ass music video. I don't know if I would, consider this a film.
Okay. Well, I mean, it is. I think it was a concept.
Mhm.
So maybe that like they had this idea for a web series, which they, made. So maybe it's between a music video and a film, like a
A
web
music video and a web series. I want to
I
watch
mean,
the whole
but
series.
yeah.
I do want to watch the series though. Are all of them like this, or do they actually have dialogue and
Well, I
stuff?
mean, I think
Stuff?
I started watching another one
Uh-huh.
earlier, and it's just a guy talk. It just starts off dialogue. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm not sure how much music is involved in the other ones. I mean, I have to say, like, I mean, I was enjoying it, like,
Yeah.
the little song, hey, I can see a dog, I can see a frog, I can see a ladder lying on a log.
Yeah.
So
And
I thought, hey, this is really nice, for kids. And then, well,
I wonder what the inspiration was behind it. I wonder, like, you'd love to talk to people who made it because it's definitely a motivation behind making this. There's a story there.
I
Yeah.
think they were just smoking too much dope that
yeah,
day.
I think there is something
Like,
like,
you might feel drunk
yeah,
watching it or something. You feel like someone was hallucinating slightly.
Totally.
I was watching. Do you remember that that film we reviewed, which was the history of cinema? We
Yeah.
reviewed the very first episode of that. Well, I ended up watching all of them, and there was one episode they talked about. I think it was a Laurel and Hardy film, and they had a guy on set, and his job was to get drunk, right, and come up with stupid, silly suggestions.
Oh,
So,
So you think that's what happened here?
well, yeah, they got their inspiration from Hollywood. Yeah, it does seem like there was something, some influence
you can imagine like
involved.
5 friends or 2 friends sitting around three or in an apartment smoking weed or something. And then
Totally.
there's something in the weed that makes them hallucinate a bit even more.
Yeah.
And just imagine it. And they're like, let's make this. And they're kind of frustrated artists, and this happened to them. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is a catchy song because after I watched it, it was stuck in my head.
yeah, yeah,
And it was kind of funny because I watched it and my wife was in the other room, but she could hear it.
yeah.
And she was like, "What was that?"
Mhm.
I'm like, "Yeah, that's tonight's film that Cahill picked."
Yeah. And like it was funny. Like when I was watching it before, I realized it wasn't the type of film I thought I was watching. Yeah, when she goes blah blah blah, green is not a creative color, right? And I was like, really? Yeah, no, I never knew that. But,
Well,
or
according to
is
the
it?
book,
Mhm.
I think it is.
I
no,
think it
but I mean
is.
that was a joke. I mean, like,
Yeah,
she
it's
just
like
said it, and you're, why isn't it a creative color? That was,
because you think you expect them to say, "Oh, it is a creative color." When they don't, it jars with you. It's like, oh, and it's kind of that's what the whole thing is like when you're watching this. You
yeah,
think it's heading one direction, and just like that's a bit
yeah.
weird. That's a bit hallucinogenic.
Well, it
Yeah.
starts off with the picture of the clown, I think it was, and then just pours black
Yeah,
paint over it.
it's jarring. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that was the
Yeah, but it was
start.
funny because I did totally think it was like some children's thing, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it kind of turns, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
that's
this isn't a
not.
children's thing at
That's not.
all."
You can
Yeah.
imagine the Channel 4 picked this up, was it?
yeah. Channel 4, yeah.
It's a very Channel 4 like thing. You'd see it like midnight or 1 a.m. in the morning that this
Yeah.
would pop up, wouldn't it?
So is it like a full like 30-minute show on Channel 4
I don't know.
or
I don't
no,
know.
you don't know. Okay.
30 minutes seems long, actually. Maybe it is, but there are like if you click on the YouTube channel, there are other videos there. Some of
Yeah,
them
I'm
are
gonna
just
watch it.
promos, but there are like longer versions as well. I think there's one. I think they're only like 8 minutes, 6 minutes. But probably they have to be longer for Channel 4. Yeah.
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 All right. Well, rating time.
Mm.
All right, Claire, go for it.
So for me, it was so different than what I thought at the very start. And there's a really, really mad message behind it, which I can relate to, certainly, unfortunately. So I'm going to give it 4 stars.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's absolutely brilliant. and a lot of fun. However, I stick with my previous statement that it is not a film. And for that reason, I'm giving it 3 stars.
Oh, well. Well, I thought it was hilarious and original, creative. And I'm going to check out some of the other videos on the basis of it. So I am going to give it 5 stars.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. A mixed bag on our ratings. However, we all seem to really enjoy it. So we'd recommend you check it out. What's it called again, Cal?
Don't hug me, I'm scared.
Don't help me, I'm scared.
Yeah, they're called This Is It is the name of the team. But anyway, don't hug me, I'm scared.
There you go. And you can find it on YouTube. So it is a lot of fun. Check it out. Let us know what you think by reaching out to us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Or if you just feel like reaching out to us and shooting us a message or following us, we're at No Budget Show on those social media channels. And with that, we will say, see you next time and goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.